dancing beat. Hi everyone, I'm your best friend, back in town again.
Okay, so I don't really film this late, but I just want to be more consistent with YouTube, and I got a whole little aesthetic going here. Got the iPhone recording, so hopefully you guys will be pleased with the content. This video is going to be on how I used mysticism to lose weight. Now, weight loss can be done with or without mysticism, but I'm just going to explain my experience. I filmed this video once already, but I didn't like it, so I'm a little uncomfortable in front of the camera. It's nerve-wracking. But yeah, so I want to make sure I like the video. So what I did was, when I began to study astrology, I came to understand that the north node of the moon, or Rahu, would be transiting my first house. Now, when this happens, with or without knowing about the transits, people will transform their appearance. They will sometimes give themselves more of an exotic appearance, such as tanning the skin, losing weight, changing the way they dress. So knowing that this transit was coming, and let me just give you a little bit of backstory. So, of course, during the COVID, I gained weight, but the pandemic, the lockdown. But yeah, I went through a really bad breakup, and I also got clean from using drugs. So that's a perfect combination to put on weight, right? Happens to the best of us. So yeah, whenever you come off drugs, you just have this hunger that you can't satisfy. Some people either don't eat, or some people eat way too much, but it happens. It's just a side effect, and it's nothing to worry about. It can be something that, you can work off. So, I hadn't planned on talking about my past for this channel, but after the overwhelming positive response that I got from it on Instagram, I'm feeling called to open up about it. So yeah, these are things that happen. And, I had someone comment today on a photo of mine and congratulate me on being in such good shape. And she was talking about how she's still recovering, and, she's had kids, so she doesn't have her old body back. And I told her, having the extra weight on you and having a stable life is priceless. Like, it's well worth the trade. So if you have to put on a little bit of weight in order to be stable and balanced, then so be it. I'm just speaking from my experience, and this is something that I had not much else to focus on except for myself and building myself up. So this is what I did, because I moved away from home and I didn't know anyone here, and so I just wanted to go within, heal, and focus on myself, right? So whenever I learned about this transit coming, I decided to use it to my advantage and make it work for me. So what I did was, and I've also learned about moon manifesting with the moon. So I learned that, during new moons, you can write petitions for things you're trying to manifest, plant them in the ground like a seed, and follow the cycle and work on things throughout the phases of the moon. And it helps you use the energy, to manifest things in your life that you're working on, projects and stuff like that. So yeah, this wasn't a moon phase, it was a Rahu phase, which is the north node of the moon. It takes 18 months to transit each house. And your first house is yourself and your body. So I was like, okay, this is my chance. I felt like Austin Powers that lost his mojo. You know what I mean? Like, I'll insert the picture of the photo that made me just bottoms up, hands down, I gotta do something. Everyone has that moment when they're like, that's it, I'm gonna do something about it. So this was the photo that changed the game. Yeah. So yeah, my weight has yo-yoed my entire life. It's so annoying. And if you have Jupiter in the first house like me, this may be an ongoing issue of the weight going up and down, or just staying up. No judgment, but for me personally, I always had this image to maintain back in my old life, and I was treated a certain way, and that became who I was. And when I was stripped of these things, I kind of like lost my self-esteem, the breakup, the move, the weight gain, all of it just, I was just burdened with it. You know what I mean? It wasn't just weight I was carrying. It was the weight of like trauma and sadness and depression and, then COVID, and it was just everything happened, And so I planted this petition, and I wrote other things that I wanted to do too. I want to live my best life. I want to have more income. I want to, but I think you're supposed to write it like it already happened. I'm not sure how I wrote it, but it's still in the ground out there. So yeah, and if you watch my video on practical magic, I talked about how I started my business. And like I said, these things can be done with or without magic. But for me, this is something that I'm very interested in and wanted to give it a try and see if it would work for me. So yeah, whenever I planted this petition, my Rahu petition in the ground, the day the North Node went into my first house, I was given shortly after in a dreamlike state a vision. Now, I thought nothing of it. I didn't even think that the girl I saw, because I was outside of myself watching myself, I didn't even think it was me. I mean, she looked so drastically different than what I looked like at the time. I actually thought it was Eva Mendes. That's who I thought it was. It's like, damn, that was me. I look like For those of you who don't know, or I'll insert a picture, but yeah, it was just like a split second, quick vision. It's kind of like far away, almost like as far as I am in the viewfinder. But, and so, yeah, the moment that I lived the vision out, you guys, all of my chakras opened up, my crown, the energy was completely there. And I was, okay, so in my vision, I saw Kevin Gates. He was singing a song, Out the Mud. And then I saw the girl, and it moved almost, now that I'm thinking of it, like a transit. Like it went Kevin Gates and that song video, and then he went down, and then the girl came up, and it looked like Eva Mendes, I swear. But at the time, my hair was dark, okay? And just the outfit she was wearing. So the vision that I got a year later, the experience that I lived, I was at the gym, and when Out the Mud came on, I finally realized, when the energy was there and all the chakras were open, I realized that I was living out my vision. I mean, the high-waisted short shorts, the sports bra, like I was wearing it that day, you know what I mean? The hair, so crazy. Like I'm so blessed and grateful. That vision looked so far from how I used to look that I didn't even have any inkling of an idea that it was my future self. So that just goes to show, I mean, the transformation is obvious, but when you're living in your own body and it's happening over a long period of time, it's easy not to notice. But I have made a huge, huge change, and I'm really proud of myself. And I'm not exactly where I want to be, but I'm really proud of what I've done, and I just want to keep working at it and keep building myself up and loving on myself. Now, it's important to remember that you can't let how you look define how you feel, but the way you feel can reflect in the way you look if you work on all of those things. It starts from within, and it's important to love yourself and not to try to lose weight for the wrong reasons. Or it's not even losing weight, it's how you feel. And it's also stamina, endurance, and strength that I want to build, because the stronger and more in shape that I am, the better I do at my job. My job's easier, I can go do more, So all of it just works together, My body is a well-oiled machine, I feel like now. At least I'm getting there. Yeah, it's so funny because My first time going to the gym, I sat outside the gym in my car and I didn't want to go in. I was scared. I was scared of people looking at me. I was scared of people seeing me like be out of shape. I was embarrassed, you know? I did not want to go in. I just sat there for a little while, like trying to get the courage to go. And now it's like my second home. Like everyone's so nice. And you know what goes through my head whenever I see bigger people at the gym? Like I'm so proud of them because you have to start somewhere. So I just can't believe how self-conscious I was to get started, and now it's like I know this now. I'm like, hey, how's it going? You know, and they know I'm gonna tan. You know, they know me, so everyone's really nice, and yeah, I'm just really glad that I've taken the steps to be able to do this, and also just to be able to have the stability in order to have the room in my life to actually work on myself. Because in my past, whenever I was unhealthy, I did not take care of my body. I didn't eat right. I may have been thin, but I didn't eat right. I didn't take care of myself. I didn't love my body. I hated myself. I did not love on myself at all. And so now, just to be able to have the space in my life to work on those things is such a blessing. Such a blessing. You know, you can't just not work on anything but you're in the gym, you know what I mean? Like it's like a holistic thing, you know? And I've never tied all of the three, my spirituality, my mental health, and my physical fitness. You know, I've always had one or the other, or just a couple of them or none of them, you know what I mean? So this is my first time like tying them in, and I feel like they are deeply connected. And so, yeah, I also sleep better at night when I'm exercising or working hard, and I sleep at night now. But yeah, another thing that I wanted to talk about, and I don't want to lose you guys like using all this astrology terms, but what I also did was I made a prashna chart. Now, a prashna chart is basically casting a birth chart at the moment the question was conceived. So it's like you're giving birth to an answer with the birth chart of that moment. So a birth chart is a snapshot of the sky. And the first house is the rising sign, the sign that's rising in the east at the time of the question. So when you do this is a North Indian birth chart. So when you do a prashna chart, you use the ruler of the first house to answer how many months, if you're asking the timing of a question, to answer how many months. So if you look here, the number 1 up here in the top diamond, we count counterclockwise the houses, and these are the signs of the 12 zodiac. So if you see the 1, it's Mars, okay? And if you count the 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. See Mars? So it took me about a year to lose about 30 pounds. Now, yeah, that's incredibly accurate. And it's crazy too, because I was wearing the size that I asked for that day in the vision earlier. It's insane. It's nuts how your chakras open up and you live out the vision you saw. Like, what? This is crazy. This is fucking crazy. I love it. Oh, and I also wanted to say that you should never use magic to affect anyone's free will or hurt anyone, because you'll be reprimanded. So, my best advice is, if you want to give it a try, only to use it in order to overcome obstacles, become better, achieve goals, you know, for good. Yeah. Oh, what else was I going to say? I forgot. I like this video better though. Yeah, second time around, I'm feeling a little bit more relaxed. But yeah. Don't you know I love you to death? You're the most beautiful thing God ever created. Long live the infinite creator.
I got a family through life and never see the sunshine again and pray it all away.